Hey friends, so this is an evening read. I just finished like a few days ago, or not even an evening read, it was our spring break read, but we got to start it a little bit early, and so we finished early, and we actually are ending up reading two books for spring break. Um, so this one is Until Friday Night. I loved this book. For me, it was like a little bit cheesy and like over dramatic, but I do think that it's like maybe like a YA book. My daughter like ate it up. There was maybe I think maybe one a little bit too graphic of a scene for my opinion. Um, because of course they're teenagers and they do teenager stuff. Most of the book just like alluded to what they were doing, but at the end of the book there is like a scene where she kind of just not describes the act, but some of the like before the act kind of stuff going on. And anyhow, other than that, it was such a great book. I was crying. I don't know what's going on with me in my life. I'm turning into a crybaby. I've always been the type of person, like, if I see someone crying, like in a movie, like I'll start crying. But I don't really. I don't know. I just noticed lately, like I'm turning into that person. Like I'm reading a book and I'm crying. And I know there were like at least two reading days, because like we break it up, that I was crying with this book. Anyhow, so this is about a girl who goes through a traumatic experience, and due to that experience, she stops talking. She doesn't talk for like 2 years. She has to end up moving in with her aunt and uncle. She's going to a new school. She has a cousin that's her age. Her cousin's like annoyed. He's a boy, she's a girl. He's annoyed, like, "Ugh, you got this girl hanging out with me. I don't have time for this, blah, blah, blah," type of thing. But the mom is like pushing for him to like take her with her, like like help her like get into life and live life as a normal teenager. And so for her, like she communicates through writing notes. So she's just like, I'll go and I'll stay out of your way. Like, I don't want to, cause you any problems or anything like that. I don't want to make any problems for you. So they go to like this like Friday Night Lights party kind of thing. The cousin is like a football star and he has like his little football friends and stuff. So they go to this little party. She's like hidden and stuff. There's this boy that he's going through his own like trauma and tragedy and acting out and stuff, and he sees her and they start making out. And so from that, she's like, "Oh my gosh," like she's having these thoughts in her head like, "Oh my gosh, I really like him, blah 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 blah." Fast forward, she goes to school, she realizes he has a girlfriend. She's like, "Oh, maybe he's just a jerk," but like, no, he wasn't being a jerk at the party, so I don't know how to feel, and da 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 da. So then I think they ended up like maybe like a week or so later, she goes to like another field, they call them field parties. She goes to another field party and he's just having like a breakdown. She's sitting in her cousin's truck because she doesn't want to bother the cousin. So she's like, I'll just be here out of the way, blah, blah, blah. She's just chilling. He sees her. He starts talking to her. I guess he feels like comfortable to tell her what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on with him except his mom and his dad. So he starts telling her because he's like, well, she doesn't talk. Who's she going to tell? So then he's like telling her, and then she starts talking. And so she starts talking to him. And so he's like, "Oh my God," like she's talking and they're like bonding over this traumatic experience or whatever. And it just like leads off from there. It's I thought in general it was a really good story, but I know for a teenager, like they will eat this up. And it's a series, and I believe my daughter was telling me that within the series it goes like it talks about like each of the friends and like maybe something that they're going through. So I'm like, that's interesting. I bought her the series, and then I had found this at the what is it, Friends of the Library sale. So I had grabbed it and I was like, you know what? I'll read it with you because she has been in like the worst ever reading slump. She stopped reading for like several months unless we were reading together. So I'm like, I'll read it with you. And like, if you like it, then you can go ahead and, finish the series. But even beforehand, I started making her and my other daughter, I'm like, you guys have to read one book a month and you're going to do a book report. Period. Like you guys need to read. But like since I made her do that, she's into it. She's like back into her reading. And so I'm like, okay, yay, win-win here. And we read this, we ate it up. It was such a quick, easy, fun read. I think it took us maybe like a week. So I know she's gonna eat up the rest of the series. She's already like planning it out. She's like, for April, I'm gonna read 2 books so that I can read one book to write my book report, and then I'm gonna read one of the ones in this series because it's so quick and easy, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, go girl, do what you need to do. So highly recommend. And then like if you're like me and you have like a teen, I have a I have a young teen and like a mid-teen. So if you have like a younger teen or mid-teen and you guys read books together, this is fun. It brought up a lot of conversation and like just talk about like dating and like respecting people and trauma and how to deal with things. So super fun read for us. Into the next one. Bye.